I thought it might be fun to just kind of show off some of the things I've done to my RAD Wagon since I bought it. This 2018 with the triple crankset, 21 speed. And I've got over 1,300 miles, about 1,350 miles on it now, I guess. Most of the components are stock. I haven't really changed a lot of performance characteristics on the bike yet, because right now all the stock components are really working really well. But as they wear out or change, or my needs change, I'll probably upgrade some of the stock components. I'm actually still thinking about adding a mid-drive motor and another battery to the bike for longer trips. Right now my trips are mostly trail rides, that sort of thing, either on a packed surface or asphalt. So anyway, okay, so here's some of the changes, things I've added, primarily with a focus on being seen. And one of those things has to do with my air zone horn. I had trouble finding a good place to mount it, and I accidentally, by putting it there, I realized I can honk the thing with my left leg. It's right here, and I can hit that trigger with my left leg and really honk that sucker. And then the bottle just mounts down there, which is a pretty handy place to put it. I have a tamper alarm on it, Aaron, and you really can't see it too well, but it's right nestled right down in there. It's not really noticeable, but it's easy to turn on and off. People don't notice it so much. And then of course the whole front platform, front rack with the large platform, because I have a dog, you know, and I wanted her to go with me, so I fixed that up. And then there's also, I mean, you can see the kind of stuff I can carry with us. This is what Sophie and I go with when we go. Her water bottle is right here. My water bottle is right there. Helmet, of course, glasses, another mirror, rear view mirror on my helmet, Sophie's goggles, bike gloves, the whole bit. And there's plenty of room for everything we need, plus her in there. And then since I had the basket anyway, I mounted these strobes. I've got two of them, one there, well, they're lights, so I can use either one or both of them at any given time, which is handy. It gives me another chance to be seen or to see at night. I do have a tire pump here. It's I think it's Blackburn was a brand name, and it will do in emergencies, but it's also good for pumping up my air horn when I'm out. If I happen to use my horn a lot, I need to change that out a little bit. I like these saddlebags. I learned about these saddlebags on this forum, and they're great. I've got the lights wired to work on an independent battery right now, but I eventually will. I'm still working on an inertia brake light, or switch, an inertia switch that will turn these into brake lights. So I've got plenty of tail lights. I've got the stock light still right here. And then I added this one, and this one is kind of an interesting light because it has, you know, two modes. It has your regular flasher or whatever, but it has another here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. You can't probably, but it actually projects onto the ground behind me, and it's kind of like a lane marker for anybody that might be behind me on a bike path at night or whatever. So it's got those two options right there, which are pretty handy. Something I haven't got out here right now, and I will get it out before I finish this video up, is I have a bag that I have used to mount on here. It's padded and insulated, and it's great and it's removable, obviously, because it's not on there right now. Anyway, I mounted these new lights on the front rim. I just like to be seen, and anything I can do to make myself more visible, I'll do it. And these are going to give me that extra measure of visibility at night. And then I have a similar flashing unit, strobe unit on the rear wheel. It's down here someplace. There it is, kind of hiding behind the splash guard right now. So those things activate at night. And I'll come back to this other thing too, but first, here's the phone holder I went with. It's pretty handy, and it still allows me access to, you know, the USB port for powering up my phone, my Dashcam in particular. I added this, which is really handy. It's a remote control for my garage door, which allows me to, as I'm coasting down the alley to my garage, I can open the door up with my remote and just cruise on in as I'm coming down the alley. That's pretty handy. let's see, I think I've already mentioned the dash cam. These are the rear view mirrors I went with. They're pretty handy, they work pretty well. I don't think there's a perfect mirror, maybe there is, but these work pretty well. But with the addition of the clip-on mirror on my helmet, I can see behind myself very, very well. I also have a lot of apparel, which I'm not going to include as an accessory, but I really have kind of embraced the color of this bike, this bright orange. I just like the looks of it, and so I use a lot of orange accessories just because. I also added a clock, especially during the winter months when my cuffs are down, I can't see my clock, and so I added this one that I can read real easy. It just sits right there, keeps good time, it's waterproof. And then the pedals. I upgraded the pedals. A, because they're just a higher performance pedal, and B, they're kind of orange, which is cool. Then finally, Bob, you already see this in the video and the pictures I'm going to include, the rim tape. Again, I got the orange rim tape. That stuff really shines up at night, and it's hard to miss when you're running down the highway with that stuff. And one final thing, even though I have a dog that rides with me, which by the way I think is an absolutely necessary accessory, right Sophie? Say hi. Yes, that's my co-pilot right there. We do have, there are some dogs that aren't as sweet as Sophie, and for those bad boys, I have this. It's a tape. I mean, it velcros right on here, and it's a dog repellent. So, and that just lives right there next to my Celtic Blue radio, which I love that radio. It does a great job. It's out of the way. It's got Bluetooth and FM and the whole bit. So that's pretty much it. And like I said, my riding is around town on asphalt or paved trails for the most part, although, you know, hard pack like RB3 roads and stuff like that. And it's just a great setup. Works for me and my doggy. There you go. One other thing I wanted to show here that I've added to my bike, and it's removable. This is a bag that came with a piece of audio equipment. I used to be a dealer for a company called Mackie, and these were made for a pair of speakers. But anyway, it's a very well built bag. It's got solid sides on it already and a pouch on the top and everything, but it also, you know, is very well padded and insulated, and I made it, you know, it's good for bringing groceries, you know, cold beer or whatever, but it is also removable. It's got these, I'm just going to lift it off because it will clamp down. It's got thumb screws in the bottom of it, but it will just lift off, and that's how I mounted the thumb screws. And then there's a stiffener down there that keeps the whole thing, you know, able to be mounted like that. So anyway, that's turned out to be a pretty good addition too. And that's pretty much everything. My ride, and it's starting to rain again, so I think I'll go back in the house. There's one other thing I wanted to mention about the bike. I thought I'd put it on the video, but apparently I didn't. The dash cam, that's a later addition, but I'm really glad that I found something that works so well. Again, it's something I learned about on the RAD forum on Facebook. There's the dash cam right down there, and it's mounted in with, you know, this whole basket is good for a lot of stuff, but so I put the camera in there, and you can just kind of see it peeking out the front here. There's the lens for it, the front. So it's really a sweet deal, and I'll put some video that's actually shot from that camera on this too, so you can kind of see, you know, what it looks like. But it plugs right into the USB port on the controller, and it's really sweet because when I turn the bike on, the camera starts rolling. In fact, it'll just do it, I think. Turn on the switch here, and that lights up the controller, and then bingo, there's the dash cam running. And conversely, when I turn it off, it powers down, and the camera runs for a few more seconds, and it just shuts off automatically. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. It's called Black Web. It was like a $25 dash cam that I bought at Walmart. And like I say, I'll put a little video. I'll grab that card out of there and include a little of what the video looks in this thing. All right, that's the last thing I'm going to add to this video. All done now.